We've had a little bit of rain falling over the last 15 minutes on an 85-degree afternoon at Mile High in Denver as the Oakland Raiders take on the Denver Broncos. Our broadcast today being brought to you in high definition here on CBS with former NFL Pro Bowler and MVP Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan. The Raiders won the toss. Denver will kick off. You take a look at Todd Sauerbrunn, one of the strongest legs in the NFL, and Chris Carr is the all-time Raider return man. Broncos won on a last-second field goal in Buffalo last week. Raiders lost at home to Detroit. The rivalry continues. The Denver Broncos, the Oakland Raiders, and this will be left in the end zone. And that will take us to sixth-year quarterback Josh McCown with a bad right foot and a small broken bone on his right index finger. We'll talk about that with Rich. And off, highlighted by Cooper Carlisle, the right guard. He started the last 2 years for Denver. Now he's back here playing in week 2 against the Broncos. Ronald Curry last week had 10 receptions for the Raiders, who begin at the 20-yard line and first down and 10. Their tight end Miller is in motion, and Lamont Jordan with a Griffith block and a nice hole, and tackled in the secondary by Dre Bly at the 39, and opening run at 19, and a Raider first down. First and 10, Jordan again. This time he is stuffed and brought down by Jeff Choate. Gain of 2 to the 41-yard line.
Well, Kevin, if the Raiders are going to have a chance today, they're going to need a strong performance from this offensive line. They're going to have to find a way to generate some production in the running game and then keep some of the pressure off their nicked-up quarterback, Josh McCown. You talked about the foot. He's been in a boot most of the week, practiced sparingly, and then the finger, something he said bothered him all week. In fact, he tried wearing the glove early in practice on Wednesday to see if he could throw more efficiently with that.
Now second down and 8. The pitch goes out to Jordan. Brought down by Champ Bailey on a gain of a yard to the 42-yard line. But talking about the quarterback, and of course that's the big story for the Raiders. Josh McCown is a former quarterback yourself with a broken bone in your passing hand, right finger, the index finger. What's that mean for him?
Well, you know what? That's really the last finger that actually comes off the ball when you release it and when you follow through. And he said it was very sensitive on Wednesday. He said he had never worn a glove before. He tried to wear the glove in practice. He said it just didn't feel comfortable. And so he's going to try and gut it out today and see if he can find a way to create some big plays in the passing game for the Raiders.
Third down and 7. Griffith in the backfield. Extra wide receiver Ed right through Griffith's hand. Incomplete. And a flag has been thrown across the way at the 33-yard line. With a couple minutes gone here in the opening period from Denver.
Before the snap, false start, number 65, offense. 5-yard penalty. It's still third down.
And Kevin, one of the things that have always plagued Barry Sims here in Denver is the crowd noise. And you watch him on the left, he just jumps early. And he's always struggled for whatever reason with the crowd noise here. He doesn't like to look back in at the center because he feels like that's disadvantage for him. He can't see the defensive end move. But when you keep an eye on this, I remember coming here a couple years back, he had 3 or 4 false starts in the first quarter.
5 in the secondary. Travis Taylor is a third receiver on third down and 12. And he's got time, but here comes Simeon Rice, and brought down at the 36-yard line and hit by DJ Williams. It's a sack, it's a loss of a yard, and on their first possession, the Raiders have got to punt the ball.
This is going to be a problem for the Raiders. Josh McCown is going to have to figure out this Raider defense. They're going to have a lot of people up at the line of scrimmage. They're going to show them a lot of different looks, and sometimes they're going to bring the pressure, sometimes they'll drop out. In that situation, he got fooled.
Shane Leckler had a career-high gross last season of 47.5 yards per punt. Will send it in this very thin air, gets off a beauty. Hickson is back at the 13-yard line for Denver, a guy who missed last season with an injury, brought down immediately on the play by Kirk Morrison on a 51-yard punt and a 6-yard return. And they'll mark him at the 19-yard line, which takes us to Denver quarterback Jay Cutler, his round last week in Buffalo. First down and 10. Travis Henry. Asamoah tries to bring him down, then forced out a play by Thomas Howard at about the 30-yard line on a run of 11 yards. So on the first play on the number 2 ranking in terms of interceptions a year ago with 8. His first and 10 from the 30-yard line. Here comes Burgess, and Cutler throws. That's caught by Brandon Marshall, tackled by Schweigert. 46-yard line, catch and run is 16 yards, another Denver first down.
And Kevin, this is what Jay Cutler gives you. Mobility in the pocket, but such a strong arm. You watch him come off the play action fake here. The pressure gets up there. Now watch him slide to his left, and with actually falling back away from the throw, he puts enough mustard on that throw to get it done. Just look at this snap in the arm. He's got tremendous arm strength, and he's able to make those type of throws.
1st and 10. And Travis Henry, a 1,000-yard gainer a season ago for Tennessee, and crawls his way by midfield, and then was tapped by Schweigert on a gain of 6 on the play, and they'll mark him at the 48.
Kevin, one of the things the Broncos are going to do, they're going to change up their personnel groupings, and they're going to move Daniel Graham, their tight end, around. They're going to have some shifts in motions because they really feel like the Raiders don't react and adjust accordingly. That causes them some confusion. It screws them up on the back end, and what they really think they can get some mismatches. You see Cecil Sapp, he's going to shift out, and now the back moves out. They have an empty backfield set. They want to see how the Raiders will adjust.
That was Selvin Young, who has just come in on the 2nd down and 4 from the Raider 48, and Cutler with the cornerback in his face, throwing deep downfield, incomplete for the aforementioned Young, and the coverage by the linebacker, the middle linebacker Morrison.
And that's a great example of Mike Shanahan, his design. He's going to get a faster back, one-on-one in space with a middle linebacker, and that is a mismatch. A better throw here probably gets it done, but even still, that probably should have been caught. And you look at Selvin Young, that's a pretty good play by Kirk Morrison. He is actually beat on the play, does a nice job recovering, but that's what Mike Shanahan does. He does such a creative job each week, game planning and scheming, trying to put his players in a position where they can make some plays.
Slot receiver is Stokely, 3rd down and 4. No changes for the Raiders from the 48-yard line. That is a fumble and picked up by the quarterback Cutler on a bad snap from Nalen. And are they saying a fumble on the play? We've not gotten any ruling on the field as of yet. They'll say Denver controlled it. Denver fell on it, but they've got to punt the ball.
And Kevin, we looked at this last week. There was a number of high snaps and a number of low snaps. Some inconsistency in the shotgun formation, and you wouldn't expect that from a veteran player like Tom Nalen, but there was a number of them last week, and it caused problems for Jay Cutler.
Todd Sauerbrunn is in his 2nd stint with the Denver Broncos, and deep back is Johnny Lee Higgins, a really good-looking rookie out of UTEP. Finishes one of the all-time leading receivers in various categories for the Miners. So both teams have punted on their first possessions this afternoon. Very little wind inside the field today here in Denver, and a great high kick, which will be down inside the 10, inside the 5, and rolling into the hands of Caron Cox at the 1. A beautiful 53-yard punt by Todd Sauerbrunn.
The Bills have a chance to convert some points before the half.
Antoine Burton is coming on the defensive line for Denver. 2nd possession for Oakland from the 1, 1st and 10, Lamont Jordan. And he's hit by Williams and driven back for no gain. His progress took him to the line of scrimmage. D.J. Williams from Concord, California.
And Kevin, in this particular stadium, it's a very difficult situation to be backed up. Crowd noise is such a factor. And it looks to me like Josh McCown, I saw it a couple times last week, is late getting away from the center.
Well, we know he's got the bad foot. 2nd down and 10. Boy, it's got to be loud on that end of the field. McCown, here's Griffith. He's hit at the 1-yard line. He was whacked by D.J. Williams and Ian Gold. No gain on the play, and 3rd and 10. And as a quarterback, really, what options do you have this deep down in your own zone?
Well, the first thing, Kevin, you're always thinking about is being smart with the football. Pretty good protection, play action to the left. Doesn't really have much there. He's got the tight end on the corner route and the back and the flat. The Broncos do a good job. A high-low stretch. They do a good job rallying to the ball.
Schott is coming as the nickelback, so 5 in the defensive secondary for Denver. 3rd down and 10.
Again, Kevin, look, all these men up at the line of scrimmage.
Travis Taylor is the 3rd receiver. And here's McCown, and that was intercepted by Bailey. Was he in bounds? Yes, he was at the 29. He has the interception. Champ Bailey, who led the NFL last year with the Asante Samuel and interceptions, picks it off. Porter was the target. Bailey gets the ball. Denver at the Raider 29.
And Kevin, I question this decision by Josh McCown. all things being equal, one-on-one with Jerry Porter, let him go to work. But, however, this is Champ Bailey now. Champ Bailey's like another receiver out there, and that matchup, Champ Bailey will win most of the time. He's an instinctive player, he's an aggressive player, and you just can't take shots against Champ Bailey. You have to see the throw. Josh McCown falling off his back foot, trying to throw one up there, hoping on a prayer.
Young and Bell are the I formation for Denver from the 29 after the Bailey interception, 1st and 10. Good blocking for Cutler, and here comes Sapp, and there goes Cutler. And boy, you got to be a running quarterback in this offense on no gain on the play and run out of bounds by Burgess.
Well, you look at these numbers here. Champ Bailey and Dre Bly, 40 interceptions, 33 interceptions since 1999, the rookie year. Both of these corners very instinctive. They recover well, and they are aggressive, particularly in the zone coverages. They'll jump routes, they'll route read, and you have to see throws versus both of these corners.
Chris Carr comes in as a 5th defensive back for the Raiders. Travis Henry is back in the game on a 2nd down and 10. Denver punted the first time they had it. Here comes Henry. And he is hit and brought down by Asamoah. Good looking tackle in the open field. And a gain of a yard, which will make it 3rd down and 9.
Kevin, one of the things that this defense did a better job of a year ago, they've eliminated the big play against them. Something that has always plagued this Raiders defense. You see Rob Ryan, their defensive coordinator. They had the fewest plays of over 20 yards in the National Football League, and that's saying something. I think he's done a good job schooling these guys up, teaching them on the back end to keep things in front of them and not be overly aggressive in certain situations.
He just put in a 6th defensive back. He's got Stokely on a 3rd and 9 in the slot. That is Stokely, the ex-Indianapolis Colt. Brought down by Stanford Routt, who was the dime back, the gain to the 17, a pickup of 11 on 3rd and 9, and the Bailey interception gives Denver great position now at the 17.
And Kevin, this is good coverage. You watch Stanford Routt, he's right in position to make this play, but a perfect throw right there gets it done. You watch, he's going to jump right underneath this, but a perfect throw high and away gives Brandon Stokely a chance. And that's frustrating when you're a corner in position to make a play and a perfect throw gets it done.
How valuable is Stokely to this offense?
Kevin, he's an experienced guy. He's a cagey veteran, and he's a very disciplined route runner. Something the Broncos really like at Brandon Stokely.
1st and 10. They got Bell and they've got Young as their running backs split out as wide receivers in a timeout. The first burned by Jay Cutler, who engineered a great defensive player of the year.
Especially with that offensive line and those receivers. And he just battled. He's showed a great deal of toughness, and they really liked him.
1st and 10 from the 17. Henry is back in. Base defense for the Raiders. Travis Henry brought down by Thomas Howard, who was over 100 tackles a season ago. Gain of 2 down to the 15-yard line.
Kevin, the key for this Raiders defense today, besides gang tackling, that's the obvious thing with Travis Henry, is discipline. They can't take the bait. And what the Broncos do such a great job of is they run the stretch play, and they run the stretch play, then they run the off-tackle play, and they kind of lull you to sleep, and all of a sudden Jay Cutler comes off that play action. They have the backside tight end going to the corner, and they come up with a big play. So for the secondary, for these linebackers, they have to keep their mind and their eyes on their work. They can't get fooled. Discipline is the key to this Raiders defense.
Gerard Warren is coming on the defensive line. The ex-Raider traded in camp to, or the ex-Bronco traded to the Raiders in camp on a 2nd down and 8. Good footwork by Cutler to get free. Right through the hands of Javon Walker. Schweigert along with Fabian Washington. We're guarding the former Pro Bowler.
And Kevin, we just talked about it, lulling you to sleep. And then the other thing is, and I saw a little bit of this from Jay Cutler last week, don't get greedy. You have the back and the flat. He's wide open. Just throw it to him. There's Mike Bell. Instead, you try and stick one in. But I'll tell you what, you watch Javon Walker. He's not open. He's not open, but the back and the flat was wide open. Just throw it to Mike Bell and move on.
Routt becomes the nickel back, so 5 in the secondary for the Raiders. 3rd down and 8. Stokely has come in to take the slot position. They're blocked by Pierce, providing time. There's Brandon Marshall. And gang tackled at the 5 and brought down by Routt, among others, was Schweigert. A gain of 10 on 3rd and 8. Another first down earlier on this drive. Stokely caught one for 11 that converted to 3rd and long.
Just watch Jay Cutler move in the pocket. And not only that, that ball comes out like a jugs machine. And the thing I love about these receivers for the Broncos, both Brandon Marshall and Javon Walker, they're like tight ends. 6'4", 230 pounds for Marshall. And Javon Walker, 6'3", 215. They're big targets for Jay Cutler to work the middle of the field.
Tyler Brayton has come in on the defensive line along with Gerard Warren. First down and goal. Champ Bailey's interception set up this great penetration by Denver as Cutler looks for Marshall, who is jousting with Asamoah. Incomplete. Second goal.
Well, they got the matchup they wanted. They got one-on-one. Just a better throw probably gets this done. You see him double hitch it. A better throw. Putting it on the field and giving Brandon Marshall a chance to make a play on Asamoah, who wasn't even looking for the ball.
Tough position for the Raider defense to be in this early in the game.
And Kevin, that's been a problem in the past. They get backed up, they get put in bad field position, and turnovers are absolutely devastating to this crew.
8th play of the drive began at the Raider 28. And here's Cutler on second and goal, chased by Warren. And did he get in down at the 1-yard line? He was hit and racked by Jay Richardson, a rookie. Gain of 3, and there's a flag down, as you can see at the top of your screen on the chalk.
Illegal formation, number 64, offense. He was lined up on the end of the line. 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
Untimely penalty for a team that doesn't make a lot of mistakes under Mike Shanahan.
And Kevin, it's amazing. I saw Jay Cutler run the option about 3 times last week. It had a quarterback sweep. Mike Shanahan is not afraid to put Jay Cutler into some positions to get him out on the edge and let him run. He did it a lot at Vanderbilt. He's an athletic guy. He runs the ball well. He protects it, and he takes care of himself. He knows when to get down. But that shows a great deal of confidence and poise that Mike Shanahan has in his young quarterback.
Stokely comes back out to play the slot, one of 3 Denver receivers on second and goal at the 9. Rout is back in as a 5th defensive back for Oakland. Here comes Sapp, and there goes Cutler, and that is caught for a touchdown. Brandon Stokely. He missed most of last season with a torn Achilles. He was let go by the Colts, and here he is in Denver.
And this is all Jay Cutler. Watch him slide and move in the pocket. He does it so well. He's got a great sense for the protection and the pressure around him. He moves up, and he's a difficult player to sack, and that gives his receivers like Brandon Stokely extra time to work against the defenders.
Stokely, who caught a pass on that drive of 11 yards, it converted 3rd and long with the extra point, making it 7-0 Denver. The Broncos cash in on the interception thrown by Josh McCown.
Shanahan fell in love with Jay Cutler at Vanderbilt. There's a lot of similarities to John Elway, not just the arm strength, but their ability to maneuver in the pocket. That's something that John Elway did as well as any quarterback. And the other thing Mike Shanahan said is that their arm is so strong that their feet can really be anywhere. They don't even have to be underneath it. They could be awkward in different positions, falling away from the defender.
And from that point on, he had solidified the thought in Mike Shanahan's mind that this was the guy. This car will leave it there in the 2nd consecutive touchback for Todd Sauerbrunn, the 3-time Pro Bowler. He is again with the Denver Broncos. A look at Lane Kiffin, who is at 32 years of age, the youngest head coach in the NFL. But this is common for Denver, for the Oakland Raiders. They hired John Madden when he was 32. John Gruden was hired when he was 34. Mike Shanahan was hired as the Raider head coach when he was 35.
Well, you look at these coaches, and this league has really gone, in my opinion, to young coaches, young, energetic, passionate guys that really they feel like can be great leaders for their organizations.
First down and 10 with a couple of tight ends from the 20-yard line. McCown threw an interception the last time out there and sends this incomplete. Dre Bly was on the coverage on the near side of Ronald Curry. 2nd down and 10.
Kevin,
now, we talked about the finger of McCown. What about the right foot, his plant foot, and obviously important when he's throwing as a right-hander?
And Kevin, I think that's even more important. It's probably something that's bothered him more than the finger is actually the right foot. His ability to run, get out on the edge, and throw with accuracy. If you can't plant your foot, you don't have confidence there, you're not comfortable, that makes your job even more difficult. I always said it's tough to play the game when you're healthy, even more difficult when you're not feeling well.
2 tight ends on 2nd down and 10. Lamont Jordan. And brought down by John Engelberger, who was a trade guy a couple years ago from San Francisco with the flag down on the play. Look at Lamont Jordan, who missed the second half of last season with back and knee injuries.
Offside. Left defensive tackle. 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
And that's one of the things that Sam Adams will do. He's a veteran guy, and he'll try and jump the snap count. And that's why, from a quarterback's perspective, you're going to help that offensive line, and you're going to slow down a defensive line. You have to vary and change up your snap count. A hard count every once in a while will deter Sam Adams.
Two tight ends again on second down and 5. Lamont Jordan, hit blocked by Barry Sims, and a tackle made at about the 29-yard line, a little bit shy. John Lynch was there with the stop on a gain of 4.
Well, Kevin, Lamont Jordan, the guy that had a pretty productive day last week, did a nice job catching the ball, 9 receptions. I think a career high for him, and 15 carries for 70 yards. He's off to a good start. This organization, is really hoping that he can begin to be more consistent on a weekly basis. He's shown some flashes of brilliance in the past, but again, he's been inconsistent. They need him to be productive each and every time out.
Taylor was the slot wide receiver on a 3rd and 1. With the ball at the 29, and the Denver Broncos are going to take a timeout. They lead it on a 9-yard touchdown pass from Cutler to Stokely after an interception by Champ Bailey at the Raider. Played there last year as a second-string quarterback. Didn't see any time in back at John Kitna. The fact is, they were looking to get him involved. They used him at wide receiver in certain plays. 3rd down and 1. Lamont Jordan trying to dig his way in, and looks like he has picked up the first down, lunging into the grasp of Sam Adams on a gain of 2 to the 31-yard line. Adams, a former Raider, as we said, coming in at 350 plus on that defensive line.
And Kevin, there's been a number of changes along this defensive line. This is one area where they haven't been as comfortable or satisfied with the production. They go ahead and sign Sam Adams. They bring in Simeon Rice. They draft Jarvis Moss in the 1st round, Tim Crowder in the 2nd round. They need more production from that group.
1st and 10. Here comes Lamont Jordan again. Engelberger got him. He was the first to tag him, and then he was brought down by Antoine Burton on a gain of 6 up to the 37-yard line. Raiders in the midst of their 3rd possession. They punted on the 1st possession. They threw an interception to Josh McCown to Champ Bailey. A couple plays later, a 9-yard touchdown pass by Jay Cutler to Brandon Stokely. 7-0 Denver. Under 3 to play here in the 1st quarter. 2nd down and 4 from the 37. Lamont Jordan. And he was hit and whacked by Amon Gordon. Gain of 2 to the 38-yard line. Gordon was on the practice squad a year ago for Denver. And his play was so good in camp that led to the Gerard Warren trade from the Broncos to the Raiders. This kid was mighty impressive in preseason.
And Kevin, that's what they need. They need some production from those big men inside. And that's one of the areas where, over the years, they've been pushed around. They've been bullied. They've been bullied in the running game. That's where they need to really hold up this year and force teams to have to throw the ball to beat them.
Fargas in the backfield. 5th defensive back is Schoch. 3rd down and 2. Justin Fargas. And he was brought down by rookie Marcus Thomas out of Florida. Gain of 3. And he's up to the 42-yard line. Another 1st down for the Oakland Raiders.
And if I'm Jim Bates, a defensive coordinator for the Broncos, I don't want to see this Oakland running game get going. If I have to bring extra defenders up to the box, get John Lynch more involved, I want to do that. I want to make sure that when this day is over, Josh McCown is the guy that beats me. I want him to beat me with his arm, not this open rushing attack.
Fargas remains in the backfield in a 2 tight end set on 1st and 10 for Josh McCown out of Sam Houston State. And he throws to one of those tight ends. That's the rookie, Zach Miller, who was brought down by D.J. Williams on a gain of 5 up to the 48-yard line. He was a 2nd-round pick, and at Arizona State, Zach Miller was the all-time leading tight end receiver.
And Kevin, they're excited about young Zach Miller. 6'5", he runs good routes, he catches the ball well away from his body, and they think he can also be a factor in the running game. Big, strong guy, not afraid to get his nose bloody.
Justin Griffith, the fullback, bottom of your screen as a receiver. Fargas remains 2nd and 5, 8th play of the drive. McCown, that's caught by Curry, who had 10 receptions last week. Nick Ferguson brings him down, 46-yard line, gain of 6. Another Raider 1st down on a drive that began back at the Oakland 20-yard line.
You watch the back come up, almost knocked the quarterback down. But I'll tell you what, by far and away, Ronald Curry is the Raiders' best and most productive offensive player. He's an explosive guy. He's great after the catch. That's really where he does his damage. 10 catches last week for 133 yards and a touchdown. Keep an eye on Ronald Curry.
And no one getting at the Raider quarterback. 26-yard line, 1st and 10.
Comes the reverse.
And it goes to Curry. And he was a college quarterback at North Carolina, but read well by Nate Webster.
Well, that's a smart play by Ronald Curry. You said it, Kevin. A guy that played quarterback at North Carolina, was a high school McDonald's All-American. Here comes the reverse pass. Now he does a smart thing. How many receivers would do this? He realizes he's outside the pocket, he has nowhere to throw the ball, and he throws it away. Good, smart play by Ronald Curry.
We know that Kiffin called plays at USC, where he was the offensive coordinator. What kind of play caller do you find him to be here in the NFL?
Well, it's going to take a while. He had a lot more weapons at USC than he does right now. He's still trying to develop that personnel, but he is going to be aggressive.
And the handoff goes to Fargas on that 2nd down and 10, and brought down by Ian Gold, who led the team in tackles a year ago. It's a gain of 1. He's to the 44. It's the final play of the first quarter. Cutler touchdown pass after a Bailey interception for the Denver Broncos, who return to Denver after these. Denver cashes in on the Oakland mistake. Some first quarter impressions.
Well, Kevin, that's really been the difference, the turnover from Josh McCown. But Jay Cutler, his movement in the pocket, his mobility, really has been the difference so far in this first quarter.
So the Denver Broncos remain on defense. The Oakland Raiders have a 3rd and 9 coming up right now. McCown coming in injured with a broken bone in his right index finger and a pretty severely sprained right foot, with a special tape job to kind of bring it together and keep it together.
And I talked to Rod Martin, their trainer, and they said he was in a boot most of the week. So this is really a gutsy performance by Josh McCown. But listen, we talked about this, Kevin, before. When you're a career backup quarterback and you get your opportunity and you have a guy like Dante Culpepper behind you, you're not going to miss a start. You're going to do everything you can to go out there and play, because you realize that if this guy gets in, Dante Culpepper, you may never get a chance to play again for the Raiders.
Denver's going to load up with the nickel secondary. A 3rd and 9 is coming up for Oakland. There is a discussion about the weather right now in Denver. We began the broadcast telling you there have been some rain showers in the area.
I don't think the heavy stuff's going to come for a while.
3rd and 9, 11th play of the drive. Bottom of the screen is the tight end, Madsen.
It feels like a thunderstorm in here, Kevin.
Green with the good block, and McCown, that is ricocheted, and it's intercepted. It's picked off by the rookie Marcus Thomas, a 4th-round pick out of Florida. A 2nd interception thrown by the Raider quarterback, and Denver stops the drive. McCown right here looking to cram it in, and lost it in a congested middle with 14:53 in the first half. The NFL has ordered both teams off the field. Lightning in the area, and many fans in the stands are heading to the aisles and the exits to take cover. We had rain right before the opening kickoff, and although you see clear there on the left-hand portion of your screen, there is a pretty nasty thunderstorm headed right to downtown Denver. And so the NFL has temporarily suspended the game with 14:53 to play in the first half. Denver on top on a Cutler touchdown pass, and we'll be back to CBS's coverage of the NFL after this. The teams are coming back out onto the field. 14:53 remains in this second quarter. So far in the game, we've seen a Cutler 9-yard touchdown pass to Brandon Stokely. We've seen 2 Raider Josh McCown interceptions. And that's where we stand right now. The Raiders come in 0-1. Denver won last week in dramatic fashion in Buffalo. At 1-0, come in Denver. Well, let's go through this right now. Rich, I don't know if you personally have been through, as you can take a look at some of the numbers through the first 16 or so minutes of the game, but when you've had a situation like this, we've gone back in the locker room during regular play, unscheduled in a game, what's the first thing as a player that you would do to kind of get yourself back in the groove?
Well, I'm sure they made some adjustments, and they talked about taking care of the ball in the Raider locker room and just get your body warmed up, get back in the rhythm of the game, and try and get back into flow. And I think that'll be important for both of these football teams.
So we'll continue here at Mile High with Denver on top 7-0 and 14:53 to play in the first half. Teams left the field as you take a look at Lane Kiffin, who is being thrown a lot here in just his second game as an NFL head coach.
Well, Kevin, you said there's a lot of similarities when they first took over at USC and the Raiders. Great traditions, they've fallen on tough times, but the expectations at both places extremely high.
When we last talked to you, it was an interception by the Denver Broncos, the second of the day. 1st and 10, it's outside to Daniel Graham, the ex-New England Patriot, upended by Fabian Washington, close to a first down near the 47-yard line. The last drive by the Raiders.
Well, the thing that I really like about Jay Cutler, he spreads the ball around, the ball comes out of his hands quick, and he's been extremely accurate. But the thing that's really made it, Kevin, is his ability, his maneuverability in the pocket. He's avoided the rush, and he's given himself extra time.
2nd down and 1 from the 47. Tight end Graham is still in. Nice play action by Cutler. That's intercepted. Picked off by Kurt Morrison, who gets away from Travis Henry. The ball was knocked loose and recovered by the Raiders at the 46-yard line. That's the first turnover by the Denver Broncos today. The interception by Morrison, the second of the season, the 4th of his career, and the Raiders say touche. Jay Cutler has thrown an interception. He's also thrown a touchdown pass. Morrison just picked off his second pass in as many weeks. The Raiders begin it at the 47-yard line of Denver. 1st down and 10. Lamont Jordan, the running back, atop your screen, and McCown. Oh, and he lost the ball. Remember, playing with a broken finger. Dumerville jumps on him back at the 48 and a loss of 4.
Well, Kevin, we always talk about looking out in front of the ball. They're going to run a little in route with Javon Walker. Now watch the linebacker. He never looks out in front of the throw, and Kirk Morrison is reading Jay Cutler's eyes the whole way. He drops right back up underneath that throw.
Travis Taylor has become a 3rd receiver, so a 5th defensive back has been put in by Denver on 2nd down and 14. Lamont Jordan, who came from the Jets in 05. Pretty good 05 season, struggled in 06 and took a pay cut to stay with the Raiders here in 07. Picks up the gain of 6 and brought down by DJ Williams near the 45.
Kevin, I like Josh McCown. 0 starts last year. He actually had 2 receptions for the Lions.
That's right.
But I thought he did a really nice job last week. They got behind 17-0. He rallied his football team back. He was in control of things despite falling behind early. He showed great poise, and I like his toughness. I think he's a great competitor.
4 in the secondary, 3rd and 8. The tight end atop your screen. He is a wide receiver. They got to get to the 36. And here comes McCown with a bad foot right down the middle, and then drilled by Ferguson at the 24, scrambling for 21. A career-long run on 3rd and 8, and the Raiders at the 24, 1st and 10.
And Kevin, this is what he gives you. He can run the football, and you watch him pull it down. Now, what I don't like is at the end of this run, be smart. You have a bad foot, your finger's hurting. Don't take unnecessary hits.
Fargas in the backfield, 1st and 10. Starters out there for Denver, and this is Fargas, brought down by Ian Gold, who allows a gain of 3. It makes the tackle at the 21-yard line. Coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowerfell. Mandated weather delay here in Denver. 2nd down and 7. Antoine Burton again is on the defensive line for Denver.
Nice job by the quarterback getting the tight end on the line of scrimmage.
That's Madsen, 2nd string tight end. This is Fargas with the Justin Griffith block. And a tackle made by DJ Williams after a gain of about 3 yards to the 17-yard line. And the fantasy update from a busy day, week 2 in the NFL.
Well, I'll tell you what, some big numbers. Look at this, Carson Palmer with 6 touchdowns. Pretty impressive.
And 2 for Frank Gore in a San Francisco win against the St. Louis Rams.
How about Jamal Lewis, 216 yards rushing? Wow.
That's what he used to do for Baltimore against Cleveland. Now he's doing it for the Browns. 3rd and a long 3. It's Fargas with the block from Taylor, but slipping through was the rookie, Jarvis Moss, a loss of 3. Back to the 20-yard line. Moss, the #1 pick out of Florida.
And Kevin, this was an area where they were very poor a year ago in the red zone. 28% TD percentage, not good enough. They have to settle for 3. You have to take advantage of short fields and turnovers by your defense. Not a very good, efficient job by the Raider offense.
So 0 for 3 kicking field goals this year is Janikowski. This is a 37-yarder. He had a 65-yarder in pregame warmups at this end of the field. And he puts 3 on the board for the Raiders, who cash in on the interception. 10:26 to play in the second quarter. Drive, a 21-yard run. We know about the broken finger. We've talked about the bad right foot. He ran up the gut and got him in field goal range.
Well, they did their research on Josh McCown. They thought he made a bunch of plays when he was with the Arizona Cardinals.
And the ensuing kickoff, and this is out of the end zone, and no surprise, it's the 3rd touchback of the game. 2 by Sauerbrunn and 1 by Janikowski, who just kicked a 37-yard field goal to put Oakland on the board.
Well, the thing we know about Josh McCown, they said he's a dynamic competitor. And I really feel like this guy gives them the best chance to win right now. He's got a good, firm understanding of this system and what they're trying to accomplish. He moves well in the pocket. He throws the ball pretty well. And as Lane Kiffin said, he will compete. We know that about him.
But he's got someone over his shoulder, and that's the #1 pick in the overall draft.
That's the other thing that'll help you compete when you know you got Dante Culpepper waiting in the wings.
First down and 10 for Cutler, who has thrown an interception and thrown a touchdown pass. The pitch out to Henry. Hit by Williams and then really racked out of bounds by Michael Huff, who was the #1 pick out of Texas last year. It is a gain of 1. He's up to the 21-yard line.
Well, you get a chance to look at the quarterbacks talking, and there's the guy, there's the quarterback of the future right there, Jamarcus Russell. He's learning from some good players, one of them being Dante Culpepper. Very similar body types, big guys. They throw the ball well, very athletic, and you look at Dante Culpepper there, guy that still they feel can be a productive player in this league.
Gerard Warren is on the defensive line for Oakland. It is 2nd down and 9 from the 21. Travis Henry, a Pro Bowler with Buffalo. He is brought down by Sam Williams. No gain on the play. The 21, so let's see. Henry was a Pro Bowler with the Buffalo Bills, and he gained 1,000 there. Gained 1,000 at Tennessee last season. He seems, and Mike Shanahan said this yesterday, the perfect back for this offense.
And he said when they broke down Travis Henry a year ago, they thought that he was the offensive MVP for the Tennessee Titans. I mean, he is an explosive player. He has great balance, and he has a low center of gravity. But the thing about him is he is tough. He'll get you the hard yards up inside for a guy who's just 5'9", 230 pounds.
Clemens on the defensive line, 5th defensive back. Stokely in the slot, 3rd down and 9. Handoff goes to Young, and he breaks free, and he gets a block from Mosher. In a foot race downfield with Asamoah. All the way to the 39 on a 40-yard sprint, and a Denver first down on 3rd and 9.
And Kevin, remember what Mike Shanahan said to us yesterday morning. He said, keep an eye on Selvin Young, the rookie free agent from Texas. He said, I like this guy. He started training camp. He was 5th on the depth chart. And all he did was just go out there and work hard every day in practice. They feel like this guy has a chance to be a very special player.
They take Young out. Undrafted out of Texas. First down and 10 at the 39. Tyler Brayton on the defensive line now for Oakland. Here's Cutler, first catch by Javon Walker. And a foot race with Schweiger. Out of bounds, 19-yard line on a catch and run of 20 yards on the heels of a 40-yard run by Young. The explosive Denver offense at the 19 of the Raiders.
Kevin, the old college screen, you fake the play action, you whip it right back around, and you get one of your best players in space. Nice job by Lepsis, the left tackle. He goes out and kicks out, but Javon Walker does the rest.
Walker was a Pro Bowler with Green Bay in 04, Blue and E in 05, and came here in a trade on draft day 06. 1st and 10. The block by Myers. Cutler throwing incomplete. Is Asamoah. There goes a flag. Asamoah was all over Javon Walker, who led Denver in receiving a season ago. Referee today is Walt Anderson. Works Super Bowl 35 as a line judge.
Pass interference, number 21, defense. First down at the 4-yard line.
Asamoah, one of the best cornerbacks in the American Football Conference.
And Kevin, what he doesn't do a good job here is find the ball. You see Javon Walker, he's just trying to get himself in position, but Nnamdi Asamoah never turns around and locates the ball. And what happens with corners at times, when that ball is thrown and they can't find it, they panic. And the first thing they do is they grab jersey.
The Oakland defense will have three defensive backs. Now they put in a fourth. Nope, they get three defensive backs for the Raiders. First and goal at the 4. They've had another linebacker. It doesn't stop Cecil Sapp, though. He just busts free on a 4-yard touchdown run. That is the first touchdown run of his career.
Kevin, they've had some injuries along that offensive line, but look at that group. Look at them all work. And it all starts up front with Tom Malin. He's the veteran center. He makes all the calls. But that group, I'll tell you what, the thing that they do well is they run block. They get themselves in good positions. They get guys on the ground. They get to the second level. That's always been their strength.
And the Elam extra point makes it 14-3. The Denver Broncos, 7.5 to play in the half. A 5-play, 80-yard drive, highlighted by a run by Selvin Young. There's a flag on the
Single formation, number 93, defense, was lined up over the center. That 5-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Comes and throws an interception the series before. He comes right back. It never phases him.
We'll take a look at Chris Carr in the end zone. Todd Sauerbrunn has the ball blow off the tee, and so he will put it back up there and kicking off from there because of the penalty that was on the Oakland Raiders on the extra point. Well, in the past, especially last year when the Raiders finished 2-14, you'd say, how in the world are they going to score enough points to get back in this game? But this is a different offense this year.
It is, and they feel like they've improved the offensive line. They have a new offensive line coach in Tom Cable, and we'll visit with that in a minute, but they feel like they have better personnel than they did a year ago.
3 touchbacks by Sauerbrunn. Not too bad to begin the game. What a leg. He's been around the NFL, but here he now is for McCown. He began his college career at SMU as a starter and then transferred to Sam Houston State. Right now at the 20 with the 1st and 10 with his tight end on the move. Little play action to Jordan, chased by Moss, dumps it out to his tight end, and that's caught by Miller, who is tagged by Gold on a gain of 3 at the 23.
And that's pretty good nifty play by Josh McCown. We talked about him not being entirely healthy, but gets out in space. And for a big guy, Kevin, it's impressive to see him make players miss. And I think he also has the ability to pull the ball down and make some plays with his legs. And I think that is paramount. You need a player at that position who has a dynamic ability to make some plays when things around him break down.
McCown was in a protective boot all week long, and he hands this one off to Lamont Jordan on 2nd down and 7. He bulldozes out to the 28. He's brought down by John Engelberger on a gain of 5.
Kevin, this offensive line has to be the key factor in the success for the offense today. Problems a year ago, 72 sacks, 12 offensive touchdowns all year. Why? Well, I don't think they had any consistency along that offensive line. They had a bunch of different offensive line coaches, Jackie Slater, Herb Eaton. In fact, at one point, head coach Art Shell came in the meetings and started installing the game plans. I really feel like they have some confidence now and they believe in the plan. That's important.
3rd down and 2. Blocked by Jordan. Outside to Griffith, the X-Falcon, and he is drilled by Nate Webster. 3 and out for the Raiders. A loss of 2 on the play, back to the 25. Webster's kind of bounce around. He's played with Tampa Bay, with Cincinnati, now in his 2nd year with Denver.
And this is a physical game. You see Josh moving, he gets the ball to Griffith. Now watch this, boom! I'll tell you what, these linebackers from Denver, they all run well, and the one thing they do is they tackle well.
Here's Shane Leckler to punt. One of the best in the business. And deep back is Hickson, who makes the grab at the 26, and then he himself is brought down by a starting player, that is Johnson, who comes down and makes the stop. Chris Johnson, an ex-Packer and Kansas City Chief player, on a 49-yard punt and a 2-yard return, and the ball will be at about the 28. Fabian Washington actually had a first crack at him, and then the second wave brought Johnson right in there. And when he was in Green Bay's camp, they were boasting about his great speed, saying that he may be the fastest player in the NFL at that time, which was a season ago.
Well, we know Al Davis loves fast players, especially in the secondary and at wide receiver.
They've got Bell as a fullback, 1st and 10, 28. And this is a handoff going to Travis Henry. He was brought down by Huff. It's a gain of 2, and he's up to the 30-yard line. Folks, check out the new NFL.com Game Center for exclusive video, highlights, stats, and photos from today's games. All at NFL.com.
A nice job on that last play by Michael Huff, the strong safety, doing a good job filling. And they're going to have to get extra men up the line of scrimmage. You talk about an 8-man box. When that safety sneaks down, the Raiders are going to want to do a bunch of that today to stop this run.
2nd down and 8. Cutler. That is Javon Walker working on Washington, tackled by Schweiger. 24-yard pickup as they just surgically cut right through the Raider defense to the 46-yard line.
And Kevin, it's a double-edged sword. When you get extra defenders up to the line of scrimmage, it gets you one-on-one on the outside lanes, and that's what the Broncos want. They want to get their bigger receivers, Javon Walker and Brandon Marshall, up against some of the smaller corners, particularly Fabian Washington.
Walker cut one on that last drive for 20 yards. Cutler is 7 of 11 through the air.
And that's one route that you can always tell a quarterback when they throw that glance route, that deep post off of a 5-step drop. He has a strong arm. He can get that one up and down before the safety can get over to make the play.
Stokely and Jackson are in his receivers. And a handoff on 1st and 10 takes Henry down to about the 43-yard line, where he is brought down on the play by Tommy Kelly on a gain of 3. You know, there was a complaint last week that the Broncos just were charging up all these great offensive numbers, but only 15 points to show for it.
Yeah, they really struggled in the red zone, and there's an area that they've spent extra time this week trying to be more efficient. Again, just making good decisions by Jay Cutler. He had some opportunities. He got overly aggressive.
2nd down and 7 with Stokely still out there. There's a block by Daniel Graham. And Morrison slowed him down, and Travis Henry works into the grasp of Thomas Howard at about the 37-yard line on a gain of 5. 37-yard line, a couple yards shy of a first.
Well, Kevin, I always got the sense it didn't make a difference who was in the backfield for the Denver Broncos. Some way, somehow, they were going to get production, and they were going to cross that 1,000-yard mark. You see Clinton Portis. They've done it with a number of backs, Reuben Drones, and then, of course, last year with Tatum Bell. And now this year, Travis Henry's going to get his crack at it. And, you know, you look at his production over the years, if he can stay healthy and get a number of carries, he'll find a way to get this job done as well.
The Raiders just put in an extra defensive back, B.J. Ward, out of Florida State. A timeout has been taken by Oakland. They burn their first with 3:02 to play in the first half. This is an official's Denver side, but Ryan, one of the few coaches that stayed, as Art Shell and most of his staff was jettisoned after last year.
And Kevin, he did a phenomenal job a year ago. They finished 3rd in total defense, and you got to think to yourself, their offense only scored 12 touchdowns all last year. And look what he did with a young group. He returns 8 starters from last year, and Rob Ryan is a passionate guy. He gets his players to compete. He gets them to work and practice. And I'll tell you what, they're excited about this defense.
Well, he's excitable, but is the defense too excited? Are they too aggressive? Do they over-pursue?
And Kevin, we watched the film last week against Detroit, and that was one of the problems. They're a very aggressive defense, particularly in the 2nd and 3rd level with the linebackers and safeties, and they over-pursued a number of times last week, and it got them in trouble.
Couple tight ends on 3rd and 1. This is Bell, who was beaten pretty good to the punch, getting as far as the 36. And he was hit by some linebackers, including Sam Williams and Gerard Warren, getting up, and a gain of a yard. So it's 4th down and short with under 3 to play, as you can see here in the 2nd quarter. Cutler has thrown a touchdown, thrown a pick. And you take a look at Morrison. Morrison is the guy who actually had that interception. As you take a look at Mike Shanahan, and you know, it was interesting when you were talking about him yesterday after our conversation. The first 3 letters that came out of your mouth were CEO.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the way I've always been impressed with him as a head coach, but you really get a feel for what he does in terms of the day-to-day operations, in terms of the personnel, and some of the selections and some of the free agents that they've picked up. He's a very smart individual. He's a great leader, and the results are out there for everybody to see.
starting secondary, starting linebackers remain on the field now for the Oakland Raiders. It is a first down after the measurement, 36-yard line. Bell remains the fullback, and that's Graham in motion for Jay Cutler, second year out of Vanderbilt. Travis Henry gets by a couple of oncoming defenders. He's got Schweigert on the side. Look at the muscle of Henry, who steps out of bounds at the 13-yard line. He got by Sam Williams. He got by Michael Huff. Breaking tackles on the way. A 23-yard scamper, 13-yard line. First and 10, Denver.
This is bad tackling. A little stretch play. Watch Travis bounce it. Now watch everybody try and tackle him up high. He's only 5'9", but he is powerful. And watch him use the stiff arm. That's poor tackling by Stuart Schweigert. He's got a low center of gravity. He runs hard. You have to take him down low.
2-minute warning. Denver is on the move again and leading 14-3. Our studios in New York, they're putting together the Sprint halftime report. JB, Dan, Shannon, and Coach Cowher, scores and highlights. The Sprint halftime coming up next here on CBS. First and 10. Long run of 13 by Henry, 13-yard line. It is first and 10. This is Selvin Young out of Texas, who gets by Huff and is brought down by Sam Williams. A loss of 2. Back to about the 16-yard line. Young was so impressive in training camp, ran so hard and learned the system so well, they actually moved other running backs to fullback. They moved Sapp and Bell to the fullback position and kept this undrafted kid.
And it's impressive, and he's going to use him. He's going to get some opportunities because they want to rest Travis Henry. They know it's a long season. They don't want to overload him, particularly early in the season. So look for Selvin Young to get some mixed-in carries here early in this game.
Well, look, they got Graham again as a wide receiver at the bottom of our screen.
And Kevin, they're going to move him around. They've been moving him around all day. And I think that's causing the Raiders some problems getting lined up.
Henry on second down and 12. Then tries to slither down to the 10, where he's brought down by Gerard Warren and picks up 5 on the play. Well, what does that do to the defense? You put your tight end all over the place.
And Daniel Graham has the ability to line up in a lot of different positions, but what it does is, the Raiders come out, the linebacker looks, the first thing he does, defensively, is try and locate the tight end. That really tells you the strength of a formation. But what the Broncos have been doing is they've been moving Daniel Graham around so much. They've been short motioning him in, short motioning him out. And Mike Shanahan told us yesterday, it's rare to find a player like Daniel Graham who can block and catch.
3rd and 7, 5 in the secondary. Stokely in the slot. Selvin Young. And he works his way to about the 5, and then gang tackle down there. Among others, they had Thomas, Howard, and a gain of 5, marking him at the 5-yard line.
And see, what Daniel Graham gives you, Kevin, is flexibility. In that last formation, he actually lined up as the fullback. And so he gives you that flexibility for Mike Shanahan to move him around.
Well, what did he tell us yesterday? He's rarely seen a fullback that can block and pass catch equally as well.
Yeah, and that's why they went out and spent the money on Daniel Graham. And he was a guy that wanted to get some more catches and some more opportunities in New England. They said, hey, come on over to Denver. We'll find a way to get you involved in our offense.
Well, it was an easy sell for Graham. He grew up
here.
here.
This is a charge timeout, Oakland.
Timeout taken by the Raiders. It was an easy sell because Graham grew up here in Denver. His dad played for the Broncos in the mid-70s. He went to Thomas Jefferson High School. He won the Mackey Award at the University of Colorado. An early pick by New England, where he won a couple of Super Bowls. And, of course, this is the logical next step for him to come out here and go back to his hometown.
And it was interesting. Lane Kiffin told us last night, we thought we had a shot. In fact, we were in the running, and then finally we had to bow out because it got a little too expensive for us. But I tell you what, Daniel Graham is a complete football player. He can do a lot of different things for you. And the thing that I like about him, Kevin, he loves the game. He loves the action. He loves the excitement, the energy of it. He's excited to be a part of this organization.
Well, you see Lamont to try a field goal. You can see the great success he has had inside 40 yards. This is a 23-yard attempt. The drive began back at the 28 for the Broncos. Sauerbrunn the hold. It used to be Jake Plummer. Now Sauerbrunn holds. 3 more up there for Denver on a 17-3 lead. Lane Kiffin has seen deficits like this before, like last week. 18 seconds to play.
Elected captain by his teammates. He's only made 6 career starts.
4 kickoffs, and this will not be a touchback. Chris Paul will bring it about 3 yards out. And D.D. Lewis, who played with Seattle in a new Denver Bronco, brings him down at about the 23 on a 28-yard return. A flag is down on the play. Denver will get back on defense. They've won 4 consecutive games over Oakland.
Holding number 55, receiving team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Denver's won 4 straight over the Raiders and 7 of the last 8. Well, this week, Dave's got Richard Gere, Ellen DeGeneres, Tina Fey, and Venus Williams. What a lineup. Plus tomorrow, don't miss Matt Damon, only on CBS. So timeouts, Oakland has one, Denver has one, 12 seconds to play. What would you do here?
Well, you got to be smart with it. The reality of the situation is probably not going to get any points. Just don't do anything stupid in this situation.
5 in the secondary, including Schote. Travis Taylor is the slot receiver. And a safe handoff to Lamont Jordan, which will take us to the half with no gain on the play. And the tackle made by Ian Gold. So we've had turnovers. We've also had a Cutler touchdown pass and a Sapp touchdown run. Took a 21-20 lead.
Kevin, they're going to need that type of performance. 5 of 8 passing for 12 yards for Josh McCown. Just 85 yards of total offense, just 28 plays. They're not getting enough opportunities. They have to find a way to create more opportunities in the passing game for Josh McCown.
Broncos look good.
They do. Jay Cutler has been impressive, the way he's handled things. And you know, the big thing, we always talk about turnovers and points off of turnovers. That's huge. But just look at the total yards. I mean, and that's been the difference so far. 208 yards of offense. And the Broncos have been taking advantage of the opportunities, have been taking advantage of the field position. The Raiders have not.
Sebastian Janikowski will kick this one off to begin the second half from the 30-yard line, and deep back for Denver will be Dominic Hickson. This is the kid that was involved in the collision last week with Kevin Everett in Buffalo. There has been incredible sympathy from this organization and Hickson in particular toward the Bills and the Everett family. It's been very remarkable and admirable. And they continue to make him very much a part of their daily lives in terms of prayer and thoughts. Janikowski's got a cannon and he sends him to a knee and back to the 20-yard line with a 1st and 10.
Make some plays to get this football team back in the game.
Denver goes with a couple tight ends to start things here in the 3rd quarter. 1st down and 10, and Travis Henry. Oh, he is devoured by Tommy Kelly, who was a starter last year on the line. Gain of a yard near the 21. Kelly with the stop.
And it was interesting. We talked with Warren Sapp last night. He's you know, the defense, the problems that they had to deal with last year with their offense that struggled so much. And he said, look, we can't worry about the score. And we have to find ways to go out and win games defensively. And that has to be our mindset. We have to find a way to generate turnovers in field position for our offense. It's going to take a while for this offense to come along. We got to carry this team the first month of the season.
We'll call it 2nd down and a long 9. Cutler. Caught by Javon Walker. Grabbed by Asamoah. Near a 1st down. 29-yard line on a gain of 9. We talked to Javon Walker the other day, and he said, what did Brett Favre, teach me? He said, never give up on a route. Never give up on a play.
Especially with a quarterback like Jay Cutler, very much like Brett Favre. If there's just a small window, he'll find a way to jam one in there. This is pretty good coverage. You watch Asamoah comes out of the break, stumbles a little bit, but the accuracy and the ability to stick him in there in tight holes, that's what Jay Cutler will do for you. 2
tight ends remain on this 3rd down and 1. Out of the motion right there, Nate Jackson. Cutler, here comes the rush by Burgess. He finds Sapp, chased by Morrison. Out of bounds, the catch and run to the 44. A 15-yard pickup on 3rd and 1, another 1st down for Denver.
And you look at the misdirection. You watch the backs, all the action is going to the left. Cecil Sapp, he slips back underneath, a little slide route. Jay Cutler does a great job with the toss action. It gets the defense flowing that way, and they're able to create a big play back up underneath.
He was undrafted out of nearby Colorado State. It is a 1st down for Denver on their first second-half possession from the 45. Denver 9-7 a season ago. The Raiders 2-14. Pierce trying to hold off Burgess. There's a little screen pass caught by Henry and chased down by Thomas Howard, whose dad played for the Kansas City Chiefs. Gain of 2 to the 47.
Kevin, this is a huge drive for this Raiders defense. 17-3. You can't afford to give up another score here. You have to find a way to make this football team punt. Your offense is struggling. They've only had 28 plays in the first half. Your quarterback is not in rhythm. Rob Ryan and this defense has to find a way to shut down this Broncos offense.
Second down, short 9. That's Graham in motion, bottom of your screen. Stokely is in the slot. Only 4 defensive backs for the Raiders. Oh, here comes the blitz by Huff, and outside it goes to Sapp, who's belted out of bounds by Howard. Near the 49 on a gain of 3. We're still, very early in this season, and being in shape is different than being in game shape.
Yeah, and you got to react, and you see Jay Cutler do a nice job here. They bring pressure off the edge, and he has a good sense about him in the pocket. He looked at the pre-snap. He saw Michael Huff lined up on the line of scrimmage. He knew he was there for a reason. And the thing that I like, Kevin, he had a quick answer throw. He knew where to go with the ball and not take the sack.
Stokely in the slot. Route is the 5th defensive back. It is 3rd down and 7. Cutler's hit his last 6. He's hit his last 7. That's Brandon Marshall. Got by Washington, brought down by Schweigert. Has the first down, 36-yard line. A gain of 16 on 3rd down and 7.
And Kevin, even when you're not perfect, when you miss a little bit, it's nice to have a receiver like Brandon Marshall will make a great catch. This ball is high and behind him. And Brandon Marshall really has no business catching this ball, but he does a nice job, great concentration. You'll see him slip at the end, but he does a great job catching the ball away from his body.
Marshall was injured in camp last year after being a draft choice out of Central Florida. Worked his way back in as a 3rd and 4th receiver. And with Rod Smith injured, he's the starter now. 1st and 10, Travis Henry.
Wow.
Look at this. Belted out of bounds by Asamoah. 20-yard line, 16-yard run. Another first down by Denver, which has looked very sharp today.
And Warren Sapp told us the importance of tackling. Watch Stuart Schweigert. Watch the miss there. Watch the stiff arm. And that's what they're not doing a very good job of, Kevin. They need to get hats on the ball carrier, and Travis Henry's doing too good of a job breaking tackles. 124 yards rushing by this Broncos offense.
But that defense of the Raiders, they've been out there a long time. They look tired.
And Kevin, you're right. They need to start rolling some players in. They're getting tired. They're getting worn down. And that's what Mike Shanahan told us about this football team.
Number 70, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
He told us they really feel like when they play the Raiders, they have an advantage in the second half. They feel like that football team wears down because of the way they practice. They don't practice very long. They don't have the pads on very long. And Mike Shanahan thinks their football team, particularly early in the season, has an edge.
8th play of the drive, opening up the second half from the 25. 1st and 15. This is Bell, Mike Bell. No gain on the play and walked down by Sam Williams. Bell undrafted out of Arizona.
Kevin, I always reminded myself in situations like this. You got the ball at the 25-yard line. I always took a peek at the play clock, and I always looked at the situation of the game. The down to 2nd and 15 on the 25. I have a 17-3 lead. All I got to do is be smart here. If it's not there, check it down. I got one of the best field goal kickers in the league in Jason Elam. Just be smart in these situations.
Clemens, a defensive end, 5 in the secondary. Stokely in the slot, 2nd and 15. Selvin Young chased out of bounds nicely on the side at about the 24-yard line by Kirk Morrison on a gain of a yard.
And I think Mike really studied the game plan, and Mike, that's exciting to him.
No changes, 3rd and 14. Right on the money, flag throw, Brandon Marshall, touchdown. He beat Schweigert, he beat Asamoah, but yellow is on the field, and it's against Denver.
Pass interference, number 15, offense. 10-yard penalty, it's still 3rd down.
And you can see Asamoah really pleading his case, and you just watch at the top of this route, pretty good coverage, man-to-man. That's why, now just watch the right arm push it off, and you can't do that. You can't extend your arms, and that back judge, he'll never miss that one.
Well, now it is 3rd and 24. The penalty is even, which is a good sign for the Raiders, only 4 this deep in the game, as the Broncos have got to get to the 10. There are 5 players in the secondary for Oakland, including Rout, who is a track star in Conference USA.
Pick up half of it here, you get yourself in field goal range.
3rd and 24. It goes to Henry, tracked down by Howard.
Enough.
The gain to about the 28. 7-yard pickup, and we'll see now. Yep, Sauerbrunn will come out and hold for Elam on a try approaching the halfway point of the third quarter.
Kevin, that's
15-yard catch and run by Sapp, 16-yard pass to Marshall, 16-yard run by Henry, 45-yard try by Elam, who was 3 of 5 last week and does not get this. Wide right. Elam misses. 8:27 in the third. Raiders will take over here in Denver. And what has been a very uninspiring offensive effort from the Raiders.
And they're getting no production from the wide receivers in this football game.
1st and 10. Lamont Jordan with the Griffith block and a tackle by Engelberger, who makes the grab at the 37 on a gain and 2. When you look at the lack of speed at the wide receiver position for the Raiders, very un-Oakland-like.
It is, and that's a concern, and Lane Kiffin mentioned that to us last night, but you look at Ronald Curry, just 1 catch in the game. Jerry Porter, who's had some of his best days as a Raider against the Broncos, 0 catches. It tells you a little something about Champ Bailey. You see him smiling there, and Dre Bly on the other side. They're lockdown corners, and they're winning that battle against the Raider receivers.
Travis Taylor, the ex-Viking, is atop your screen as a 3rd receiver. Only 4 defensive backs. 2nd down and long, and the handoff for just a couple yards on the play up to about the 37-yard line. The run by Jordan and the tackle made by Marcus Thomas.
Kevin, this defense right here absolutely drove me crazy. They have 8 men in the box, and it looks entirely the same every time. And as a quarterback, I don't know if they're going to blitz and come or if they're all going to drop out. And Josh McCown has not figured it out yet. And here it is again. Look at them all up at the line of scrimmage. And now, are they coming? Are they going to drop out? Do I audible? Do I stay with it? I don't know. I think they're going to drop here.
3rd and 7 into a nickel secondary. The handoff goes to Lamont Jordan, who was tripped up on the play by DJ Williams, close to a 1st down, out to the 45-yard line on a gain of about 6.5 to 7 yards.
And it was interesting. Josh McCown told us last night, when I get that all-up look, one of the things I'm going to do is audible to a run. Because if someone splits a seam and we get a gap, we got a chance for a big one, and that's probably our safest call in that situation.
So when you break the huddle, what is the first thing a quarterback looks at the Denver defense?
A quarterback's always going to look at the front. I'm going to see if it's a 3 or 4 man front. Then I'm going to look at the linebackers, and most importantly, the secondary. Those safeties will really tell you, is it man or zone, or is it a pressure? John Lynch.
Back to a base defense for Denver. A timeout has been taken. 6:26 to play in the third. Down and 7 for the Raiders. So we're through the challenge, and they take a look at it right now. Look at Mike Shanahan. When we talked to the Raiders yesterday, there was a unified response when asked, is the environment different? Is the feeling different with this team at practice, in the locker room, in the meeting rooms? It was a resounding yes.
Yeah, and I think Lane Kiffin has brought some energy and excitement back into the building in Alameda.
So here is what the Raiders are challenging. If Lamont Jordan is knee down right there, it looks to be shy of the 45, more like the 44.
Seam with me.
The runner's right knee was on the ground and the ball was short of the 45-yard line. It will be 4th down.
Wow.
Good challenge by
Denver.
Do
you go for it here, Kevin?
Oh, absolutely.
I think you have to. They need a spark. They need to find a way to get something going here.
Does McCown, with his finger injury and the foot injury, look limited to you today?
I think he's moved pretty well. I think the problem is they've not had enough opportunities in the passing game. We talked about the fact that they only had 28 offensive plays in the first half. And when you don't get many opportunities in the passing game, it's really hard to get your rhythm.
Well, they're going to go for it. It'll be 4th down and about a yard.
And crowd noise is always a factor on the road in these short yardage situations. Advantage Denver's defensive line.
What would you say in the huddle in a loud stadium?
You got to sit in, you got to listen, you got to find a way to get off on the snap.
4th and 1. Lamont Jordan.
There it is.
What a block by Griffith, and there he goes, rumbling his way for a 1st down to the 46-yard line. Brought down by Champ Bailey, an 8-yard gain. And if nothing else, a great psychological boost for the Raiders.
And Kevin, when you're struggling, that Lane Kiffin has in this offensive line, and we talked about the changes they've had up front. 5 new starters from a year ago, if you count Jeremy Newberry in different positions. Great job by their offensive line coach, Tom Cable.
Good block by Sims. Time for McCown on 1st and 10, going deep. Incomplete. The coverage by Dre Bly. The pass intended for Curry. Bly came in a trade from Detroit to Tatum Bell in the offseason. He is the one taking the place of
cover guy, but he can also rush the passer.
2nd and 10. Johnny Lee Higgins has come in the slot. McCown, more good blocking by Sims. Incomplete, looking for Jordan in what appeared to be a screen pass.
And it's tough. It's tough. You look at
Kevin Harlan and Rich Gannon.
You got it, JB. Thank you. Romo coming off a 4-touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown performance last week in their opening win against the Giants.
Oh, you got him. Double
3rd
move.
and 10, and they got him. That's Jerry Porter in for the touchdown. He beat Trey Bly.
And Kevin, he told us last night, Josh McCown, he said, the guy we have to double move is Dre Bly. He's the one that's probably a little more aggressive at times. Sometimes he takes unnecessary risk. And you just watch the pump fake here. It gets Dre Bly to bite on the move, and Jerry Porter goes right by him on the slant and go.
Jerry Porter last year in the doghouse under Art Shell played 4 games after leading the team in receptions the year before. On his first reception of the day, goes in on a 46-yard bomb. Janikowski puts it through, and a new game in Denver. With 5:19 to play in the 3rd. McCown throws his 3rd touchdown pass of the season. And it was a beauty to Porter, and 5:19 to play in the 3rd. Right foot. And now Janikowski will kick off, and 5:19 to play here in the 3rd. Oh, and look at this. It's an onside kick, and it was caught at the 42-yard line and grabbed on the play by Chris Carr. And so the onside kick is good. They have not successfully executed, the Raiders, an onside kick since 1996. That's courtesy of Pat McGrath. 17-10 Denver. The Raiders are back in business. After the Raiders scored on a 46-yard touchdown pass, they get a successful onside kick. 42-yard line, 1st and 10. McCown, draw play, Jordan blocked by Griffith, and the tackle made by Ian Gold. Gain of 1 to the 43.
Well, Kevin, keep an eye on Jerome Cox on the front line. His job is to keep his eye on the ball and not take off too soon. He's already at the 50-yard line, and he is way out of position. And your job on that front line is to watch the kicker the whole way and to make sure that ball is kicked down the field. Great job by Sebastian Janikowski and that kicking unit.
2nd down, 9:43. Jordan, another block by Griffith. A tackle made by DJ Williams on a gain of 5 to the 47.
And Kevin, we get a chance to go back and look. Get a chance to look at this football team. I get the sense that the energy in the building is starting to shift, and the momentum's starting to shift. You see Josh McCown, he looks more comfortable under center. He's starting to take command, and this team is starting to make some plays to get back in it.
In this division, do you sense that Raider Week still has the same ring it used to have?
And Mike Shanahan told us until they get to be a more competitive football team, it won't have the same feel. You see the Raiders in an empty backfield set right now.
3rd and 4, they make a linebacker a defensive back because they got Travis Taylor in as another wide receiver. A block by Gallery. Here comes McCown, chased by Engelberger. Picked up on the play by Zach Miller, the rookie tight end in front of Champ Bailey. At the 42, it's a gain of 10 on 3rd and 4, and the Raiders get a 1st down.
And look at this, they spread him out, and watch Josh McCown. Gets outside, look, he's still hurting, but look at him move. And a great throw across his body back to Zach Miller to keep the drive alive.
Jarvis Moss has come in on that line for Doomerville. But really, the defense only had the 4 defensive backs, and they had, because of all the receivers, they had the Broncos send the linebacker out and cover.
Good job by Lane Kiffin, moving people around, changing personnel to get the matchup they want.
Fargas in the backfield. 1st and 10. Justin Fargas, a block on that line by Cornell Green. No gain on the play. 42-yard line, and the stop was made by...
Again today, and he just continues to hang in there and battle.
Schultz is in the defensive secondary. He is the 5th one. It's a handoff, and it goes to Fargus with the flag thrown on 2nd down and 10.
False start, number 74, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That is Cornell Green, 2 times a Denver Bronco, and now a Raider as we go back to JB in our studios in New York. Kevin Harrell got in Minnesota. 2nd down and 15 from the 47.
Another penalty.
Fargus. And a penalty flag is thrown. The gain is down to the 43. Rice made it. The tackle.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
And Kevin, this is one of the things that when I break down the Raiders, I say they have to become a smarter football team. They have to take care of the football. They had 46 turnovers last year. They're a -23, and they need to eliminate the mistakes. 111 penalties a year ago. When you do these things, you don't give yourself a chance. And we talked with Lane Kiffin last night. He said, that's my #1 priority for this football team to understand, take care of the football, and don't put yourself in bad situations.
2nd and 20, the fullback Griffith was wide on top of your screen. This is a pass to Curry, who's down to the 46 and brought down by DJ Williams after a gain of 5.
And Kevin, I'm impressed with what I see from the Raiders. You got to ask yourself, a year ago, had they come in and gotten behind 17-3, what would have happened? This thing would have fallen apart, and what they've done, they've shown me great resiliency. There's no panic. You look at Lane, he's just going to keep dialing him up and putting his quarterback in a position to make some plays.
And a familiar number 12 as the quarterback.
I'll
That
tell
was
you,
your
he
old
looks
number.
good out there, and I'll tell you what, he's a good guy, and he's worked for his opportunity, and I hope he makes the most of it.
3rd and 15, they need the 32. Schultz is a 5th defensive back. Taylor is a 3rd receiver. Oh, here they come. Dumerville has got him. A sack. Back to the 40-yard line, and it's a loss on the play of 13, and Oakland, after that successful onside kick after a touchdown pass, has got a punt.
I like Elvis Dumerville. The thing about him is he doesn't take plays off. Just 5'11", 260 pounds, 8.5 sacks as a rookie. He's got a great deal of energy, and he brings it on every single play.
That's his 2nd sack of the season. High snap, but pulled down by Leckler. Hickson back at about the 8 with a fair catch. He is allotted at 36 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. 46er in the NFL, but needing the same kind of energy they showed a year ago. Trying to stiffen here as Denver takes over after an Oakland punt from the 8. 1st and 10. Look at the time for Cutler. Incomplete, looking for the 6'5 Marshall, covered by Asamoah. It'll be 2nd down and 10. 3 days from today, see for yourself what happens when 40 kids build a new society. It's unlike anything you've ever seen. Kid Nation premieres Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on CBS, America's Most Watched Network.
I'd like to get my 2 daughters on that show. He said one of the concerns is people start reading the hype and start believing that we're a good defense. He said we have to do it all over again.
2nd down and 10. Oh, and here comes Burgess up the middle, and the pass is caught, scooped in by Marshall, who is brought down by Schweigert. There is a flag at the 2. The gain is to the 25 and good for 17.
Number 70, offense. Half the distance to the goal. It's still 2nd down.
That's one of the newer offensive linemen, Montre Holland, who spent the last handful of years with the New Orleans Saints.
And you see, once they get on the shoulder pads and once they start seeing the jersey, that's when they usually make that call.
End of 3, Denver 17-10 over Oakland. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Jay Cutler has thrown a touchdown and an interception. Josh McCown, the Raider quarterback, 2 picks, but a 46-yard touchdown pass. We start the 4th quarter with a 2nd and 14 from the 4. The holding penalty just wiped out a Denver 1st down. Starting the 4th quarter with Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan. It's a pass, and it's caught by Walker, who's trying to look for a block there from Eric Piers. It's a gain of 5. He's out to the 9-yard line. 3rd and long coming up. Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS rolls out regional action featuring the Chargers and the Packers in the nightcap, Cincy in Seattle. It all begins with JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Bill Cowher on the NFL Today. We will be in Foxborough for the Bills and the Patriots. Stokely is in the slot. Route has become the 5th defensive back. It is 3rd and 9. They need the 18. Oh, he's going down! Gerard Warren comes through along with Richardson, and it is a safety. And Gerard Warren, who was traded from Denver in training camp to Rob Ryan's defense in Oakland, comes up with a huge play, seeks and finds revenge, and now it is 17-12, and the Raiders will get the ball back. After a safety, there is a punt. There is not a kickoff, and that's why Sauerbrunn is out there in punting formation. He does also kick off for the team. This car's deep back at the 15-yard line for the Oakland Raiders, who have lost 10 consecutive regular season games. Carr.
That's a bad bounce.
It is 20-yard line. It's a block from Madsen. We got a block from Eugene. And then he's shoved out of bounds by Champ Bailey. Yeah, starters play special teams for the Denver Broncos. Out of bounds at the 31. 11-yard return.
Definitely swung towards the Raiders.
Crowd is alive. 31, 1st and 10. Blocked by Green, chased by Engelberger. Here goes McCown, bad wheel and all. And working his way down the side, he is out of bounds near the 39 on a run of 7 yards. Earlier in the game, he had a run of 21 yards right between the hash marks.
And Kevin, teammates love to see it when you dive, when you extend the ball, when you try and reach for every last yard. That's how you win over your teammates, by that type of play. And that's what Josh McCown is bringing. But you know what was interesting? We watched in the drop back, the receivers aren't getting any separation. Nobody is open. He has nowhere to go with the ball, and it's making it very difficult for him when he's dropping back, trying to find an open receiver.
2nd down and 3. Lamont Jordan over 70 yards. He'll add on to that total right here. Lynch has him down to the 42-yard line on a run of 20 yards. And with that, Lamont Jordan will be at 92 yards on 18 carries today.
And Kevin, look at the job of this offensive line. I mean, they're brand new on the right side. Zach Miller, the rookie tight end, Cornell Green, Cooper Carlisle, Jake Grove was your backup center. Robert Gallery at left guard played left tackle last year. And Barry Sims at left tackle played left guard. So these are all 5 new players in different positions. They've done a great job. They seem like they're much further along than they were a year ago.
Fargus is in on 1st and 10. And brought down on the play by Amon Gordon. It's a gain of 1 to the 41-yard line.
And Kevin, there are already signs that I'm seeing of this offensive line that they're functioning better as a unit. And that's what they need. They've invested a lot of time, effort, and energy in these guys. You know, you look at Robert Gallery was the 1st-round pick, and, you know, there's a number of coaching changes. There's a new system. There are new positions. And I think anytime you see, there's Tom Cable, came over from UCLA. Anytime you have a bunch of new players, it takes time. But this group has come together and done a nice job in a short period.
2nd and 9, Jordan is back in. Flag thrown, looked like someone moved on that Raider offensive line.
False start, number 76, offense. 5-yard penalty.
It's Robert Gallery, who last year was the starting left tackle. Before that, the starting right tackle. Now they've got him planted at left guard, and they're going to keep him there.
And he just jumps the snap count. And that should never happen when you're lined up right next to the quarterback and center. There should never be any discrepancy whether or not you can hear the cadence or not. You're right next to the guy calling it.
Simeon Rice is coming on the defensive end for the Denver Broncos. 2nd and 14. They need the 32.
Kevin, that's what they do. They want to get him about 30 snaps, particularly in passing situations.
Lamont Jordan pulled down by Webster. No gain, 46-yard line.
And Kevin, now it's time for this defense to start generating some plays and some energy and getting the ball back for the offense. And you see the push-up field. Anytime you get penetration in the running game, that really hurts you. You see Nate Webster fly up through there, makes the play in the backfield. These Denver linebackers, they all run very well to the ball. They have great speed and quickness, and they're very difficult to block on the 2nd level.
3rd receiver's been brought in, Travis Taylor. So a 5th defensive back has been brought in on 3rd and 14. Again, they need the 32.
screen.
Here comes Moss, the rookie, and a fumble on the play, out of bounds at the 48. Moss has done it again. He has been a factor on the line. Denver records their 4th sack today. A loss of 6,
Kevin,
and they've got a punt.
3rd and 14, they have a screen, it's not there, throw it away. You can't do anything else here other than throw it away. You have linemen downfield, you have receivers who are just clearing out. There's really no other option than to throw the ball away in that situation. Something Josh McCown will figure out when he watches the game film on Monday.
2-time Pro Bowler Shane Leckler will punt, fields a high snap from John Kondo, and the punt is headed toward Dominic Hickson. They're caught, 6-yard line, 46-yard, well-placed punt by Leckler. 10:41 in the 4th, 5-point game. Cutler's got his hands full against the Raiders today. 45 yards, and they gave up a safety to Gerard Warren. 2nd consecutive start inside their 10. 1st and 10 from the 7. Cutler throws, caught by Javon Walker. He's grabbed by Stuart Schweigert. He's out to the 26. Catch and run of 19, 1st down.
Well, they do that so well with the play action. And just watch Javon Walker work across the field, up above Kirk Morrison and below the safeties, right in that little crossing route. And Jay Cutler does a nice job getting that ball up and down before Stuart Schweigert can drive on it.
Look where they got Daniel Graham, the tight end, atop the screen with Walker in the slot. 1st and 10, 26.
They're doing a good job. We talk about moving them all over.
Brandon Marshall, got by Fabian Washington. Gets by Thomas Howard and streaks up the sideline. Another 1st down. He's to the 43. Ran out of bounds on his own. 17-yard gain. Saturday, the Home Depot SC 17-yard pickup. 19 yards before that. 1st and 10. Travis Henry. And grabbed by Tommy Kelly at the 45-yard line on a meager gain of 2.
And Kevin, it's tough to turn the switch on and off offensively. The impressive thing here is they are backed up. Jay Cutler comes out and makes a great throw, and they find a way to get themselves going again. You see Travis Henry limping off the field. They can ill afford to lose him and his explosiveness at this point in the game.
And the undrafted rookie out of Texas, Selvin Young, will take his place on this upcoming 2nd down and 8. Hickson has come in as a 3rd receiver. Stokely is in the slot. Graham is at the bottom of your screen. And Jay Cutler out of Vanderbilt on 2nd down and 8 outside. Dropped by Cecil Stamp, and the coverage by Michael Huff.
Well, Kevin, I think they're still learning about each other as a group. I'm talking about this Denver offense. They have a young quarterback, just 6 starts coming into today's game. A new running back in Travis Henry, a new tight end in Daniel Graham, and some really young receivers. And so I think Mike Shanahan's trying to figure out what he has, and that sometimes makes things a little bit more difficult as a play caller.
Nothing to Stokely since the touchdown pass early in the game for Denver.
No, and he's so good at working the middle of the field. He's very crafty, he's nifty, and you see him, they line him up in the slot, and that's where he really does his damage.
And Graham, the tight end, is in the backfield as a fullback on 3rd and 8.
They like him for protection as well.
5 in the secondary, deflected pass, and it's caught by Thomas Howard, and there he goes, and the Raiders will take the lead. Oh, what a play!
We're going to go for 2 here, Kevin. You look at the indecision. Anytime there's indecision and you see Matt Lepsis, what happens there is he gets walked back into the quarterback. And what happens is the push up in the face, Jay Cutler tries to get the ball out. It gets tipped, it gets deflected, and it's never a good thing from a quarterback's perspective. When the ball gets deflected, it usually winds up in the hands of the defenders.
Howard with his first touchdown. He's only in his 2nd year out of UTEP. His dad played for the Kansas City Chiefs. And now the Raiders are going to try for 2. Down 17-3. Oakland has taken a lead. Taylor is in motion. Griffith with the block, and that's a 2-point throw. And it's caught by Curry, and 2 flags. 3 flags have been thrown in the end zone.
It looks like it might be against Denver.
Defense, 12 men.
Wow.
That 5-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. The try is good. Timeout.
Last week, the Oakland Raiders were down 17-0, came back to take a 1-point lead. Today, down 17-3. The Raiders have come back with 8:55 to play to lead Denver 20-17. Scored on an interception by Thomas Howard, returned 44 yards. Prior to that, Warren Janikowski's kickoff is a touchback and out of the end zone after the interception by Thomas Howard, as we welcome a brand new audience in a lot of the country here to Mile High in Denver, where a 17-3 Bronco lead led by Jay Cutler has evaporated, and the Oakland Raiders have come back to take a 20-17 advantage, 8:55 to play in the fourth quarter. For those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. Kevin Harlan and Rich Gannon. 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast. From the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Cutler had to come back last week in Buffalo to pull out a Denver win. Can he do the same today? Travis Henry brought down by Tommy Keller. Rumbling his way to the 30. It's a gain of 10 and a Denver first down.
And the thing you know about the Denver offense and Mike Shanahan, they won't panic. They have great patience with their play selection, particularly in the running game. They're going to keep dialing up the runs. They got 8.5 minutes to go in this game. What they need to do is just settle down in the huddle. Jay Cutler needs to reel this group back in.
And he has a lot of experience from last week to lean on.
Yeah, the comeback last week was huge. He's going to have to find a way to take a deep breath and make some plays. Some bad things have happened to him.
1st and 10, Travis Henry hit by Huff and brought down and drilled on the play by Warren Sapp on a loss of a yard back to the 29.
And what you're seeing, take a look at Matt Lepsis. He's getting pushed back by the rookie Jay Richardson, the 5th-round pick from Ohio State. And on this last one, it was really the play. He he tips the ball, but what happens is it's the push in the pocket. And what's happening, Kevin, Jay Cutler doesn't seem comfortable with that push up in his face, and it's affecting his ability to deliver accurate throws.
Chris Carr has come in as a 5th defensive back for the Raiders because Stokely has become the slot receiver for Denver, 2nd and 11. Almost picked off. Asamoah was in the way of that pass intended for Javon Walker. 3rd down and 11 to go.
And there's a fine line in this league. You miss just a little bit behind these receivers, and you give a defender like Asamoah a chance to get his hands on the ball. You have to be perfect when you're working against good corners.
3rd and 11. Let's see. Tyler Brayton has come in on the defensive line with Chris Clemens and Gerard Warren, who had a safety earlier, and Warren Sapp. 5 remain in the secondary. 3rd and 11. The Broncos need their 40. Selvin Young is in the game. Cutler, it's caught by Stokely. So many times he has done that in his career. He beat route, the gain to the 48. It's a gain of 23 on 3rd and 11 and a Denver first down.
A nice design. They have doubles on the outside. Jay Cutler does a nice job reading this out. He finds the single coverage inside and gets the matchup Brandon Stokely on Stanford route. Nice little move at the top there. He starts him out and then works back towards the post.
Stokely's been tough today with 3 catches on 3rd down.
And Kevin, when you need a big play, it's nice to have a veteran player like Brandon Stokely in the mix.
Bell now the fullback, 48, 1st and 10. Henry with a block by Holland and a block by Marshall. And he is still on his feet, and a gain of 4. They'll mark him down at about the 44-yard line. He had all kinds of players like Schweigert and Huff coming in there. And today, Henry on the ground, 91 yards. He had 139 last week in Buffalo.
And that's the key for this Raiders defense. They talked about not letting anyone rush for 100 against them. And you're coming inside 6 minutes now. You got to find a way. You see Rob Ryan. You got to find a way to get some hats on Travis Henry. One of the ways they're going to do it, Kevin, is to get an extra defender up in the box. You see Michael Huff cheating up there.
2nd and 6. Henry again. Fires a block, and the tackle made by Kirk Morrison. Gain of 2 to the 42.
And Kevin, it helps when you have physical corners. Nnamdi Asomugha, he's a physical corner. He doesn't mind getting involved in the running game. You watch to the left of your screen, you're going to see him fly in there and throw his head in there. Now, he doesn't necessarily make the tackle, but that's what you need, a corner who's willing to get involved in the running game and help turn things back up inside for those safeties and linebackers.
Nickel secondary now for the Oakland Raiders.
Big third down, Kevin. And the thing that's been impressive about Jay Cutler today is he's made some big conversions in these situations.
Third down and 4. Hollander Cole gives a block for Travis Henry, who is brought down by Warren Sapp. It's a gain of 3. It's 2, about the 39, 38-yard line.
You see Warren Sapp. He's tired right now. But I'll tell you what, you look at him. He loves the game. He loves playing. He loves talking. He's got a lot of energy. He plays with a great deal of passion. Look at him over there talking to the coaches from Denver. He's encouraging them to go for it.
The Oakland Raiders have lost 10 consecutive regular season games. They have lost 4 straight and 7 of 8 to the Denver Broncos. Where are they finding what they're finding today against a team that has mastered them of late?
Well, Kevin, sometimes a win like this against a divisional opponent on the road can really turn the fortunes of a franchise around. I remember coming in here, we had lost 4 games in a row in 2002. We played them on a Sunday night. We wound up winning that football game, and we wound up winning 6 of our next 8 games. It turned our season around. We wound up going to a Super Bowl. But a big win like this on the road against a good divisional opponent can do wonders for your club.
Broncos have just taken out Javon Walker. They have put in another tight end, Nate Jackson. 4th and inches.
Look at Warren Sapp. He's trying to get some air. You can see him. Look, he's trying to get some air. They're tired right now. You play at this altitude, it's tough. But you got to find a way at the end of the game to generate some push and some excitement and keep your defense feeling that they can make a play for a big stop.
Cecil Sapp has come back in as the fullback. 4:58 to play in the 4th. So again, 4th and inches. Cutler to Sapp.
Oh, that's rough. Got it.
That is Cecil Sapp, pulled down by Morrison, but gain to the 37, a pickup of 2, and you're right. He chisels his way for a first down for Denver.
And this is all extra effort. He gets hit in the hole. He does a nice job spinning out to his left and falling forward for a big first down. Watch this hit in the hole. He's going to get slacked. It's his tight end, Nate Jackson. He runs into the back of Nate Jackson, but does a nice job spinning out, finding a way to get that first down.
Sapp earlier in the game had his first rushing touchdown. Look at 32-year-old Lane Kiffin, who lost a tough one last week in his head coaching debut. His dad is Monty Kiffin, longtime defensive coordinator for the...
No, they've been resilient. They've hung in there, and they've showed some ability to come back despite some adversity, the turnovers. And Jay Cutler showing some real good poise right now.
9th play of the drive, 1st and 10, end around Javon Walker. No place to run, no place to hide. Howard drives him out of bounds, a loss of a yard, back to the 39.
And that's a nice job by Thomas Howard. He stayed at home, he wasn't fooled. Nice job by Asomugha as well, keeping their eyes on their work. And there's so much misdirection, Kevin, you and I have talked about it all day. There's so much misdirection with this Denver offense. They run the off-tackle play, they run the bounce play. And if you're not paying attention to your assignment, before you know it, the end around comes and you give up a big one.
And look at the tremendous balance in their offense. 28 pass and 28 run plays. 2nd down 11. Blocked by Myers. And is caught with Washington making the tackle on Javon Walker. At the 26-yard line, a catch of 12. And a first down for Denver. Clock continues to tick. Denver with the timeout. Oakland with 3.
Just good protection up front. You give him plenty of time. Good poise, sits in the pocket, takes a couple hitches, and then he makes a good, accurate throw. The thing I like about Jay Cutler, when it's not perfect, he can still make plays. When nothing's there, he finds a way to make something happen.
Defensive line of the rookie Richardson. They've got Kelly and Warren and Brayton for the Oakland Raiders. 1st and 10 from the 26. A block by Howard. Look at Henry. In the secondary, tackled by Schweigert, 15-yard line, 11-yard gain, another first down. At the 23.
Holding, number 61, defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Will be added to the end of the run. First down.
That is Gerard Walton goal. Trudell Sands has taken the place of Warren on the defensive line. Cutler looking for Walker. Broken up by Asamoah. Spectacular play by the cornerback who just missed the Pro Bowl a year ago but did pick off 8 and gained great respect around the AFC. Second and goal coming up.
I don't understand why they're not working towards Fabian Washington more, but they get the one-on-one. But you look at the size, they're almost the same size. There's not really any advantage there. And the thing that Asamoah does a good job of is he goes up and plays the ball at its highest point. He attacks it, and that's one of the reasons why he was able to come down with 8 interceptions a year ago.
Warren Sapp has come back in on the defensive line. Brayton is out. 2 tight ends. They just brought in Jackson for Denver. Second goal at the 10. This is Bell dancing his way and tackled by Sam Williams near the 7 on a gain of 3.
Well, Kevin, this Raiders defense, it's time to swell up. You hold them here to a field goal, and you give your offense a chance to get back on the field, a 2-minute situation, and maybe drive down and win the game.
Well, Denver is going to go with 4 wides. That means there'll be 2 extra defensive backs put in there for the Raiders. So they have brought in 6 in the secondary for Oakland. Hickson is in along with Stokely. 3rd and goal at the 7, 14th play of the drive.
Keep an eye on Jay Cutler here, Kevin. This would be a great opportunity for a quarterback draw.
It's Walker at the 2, hit by Rout, hit by Schweigert on a gain of 5. It'll be 4th and goal at the 2.
Well, he's going to run a little out route. You see him in the slot. Stanford route lets him go. Asamoah does a nice job dropping his receiver and driving on that flat route.
Well, Oakland did their job. They kept the Broncos out of the end zone and forced them to try to tie the game. It'll be a 20-yard attempt and a shaky Jason Elam starting this season. He missed the last time out there from 45 yards away, but inside 40, he's been terrific for the time. At 2:19 to play in the 4th quarter.
Well, Kevin, if you're
the all-time leading Raiders kickoff return man.
a good chance here.
There's a block by Griffith and a run to the 27-yard line. 22-yard return. Just something to keep in your hip pocket. Before the game, Sebastian Janikowski kicked a 65-yard pregame field goal. And it was going in the direction in which the Raiders are going now.
And Kevin, there was several yards left in that kick. It was probably going to be good from 70. I mean, he's got plenty of leg.
Broncos line up in base personnel. Johnny Lee Higgins is a new receiver for the Raiders atop your screen, the rookie. 1st and 10. Higgins in motion. Jordan with the call. Tackled by Engelberger. Carries a pile to the 31 and a gain of 5. Which takes us to the 2-minute warning. Jordan's got 97 yards on the ground. 17 second-half points by Oakland. From the 31, 2nd down and 5. Up the left tackle, Sims moved.
False start, number 65, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
At a critical time, in a critical situation, you get a mental error, and that's just devastating. You have to keep your poise, and Kevin, you can just feel the energy and excitement in this building. It's getting louder now, and if you're a left tackle, you got to really dial in and try and hear that snap count.
Simeon Rice has come in on the defensive end. Jeff Schote becomes a 5th defensive back. 2nd down and 10, 26.
Got them all up there again, Kevin, all over the line of scrimmage.
Lamont Jordan, Griffith the lead block, Lynch with the tackle. to the 32 on a gain of 6.
Well, last week, Sebastian Janikowski really had a rough go of it. Missed 3 field goals. One of them, actually the first one, it got blocked. We have a new long snapper in John Kondo. He actually got pushed back into the kick, so that's something to keep an eye on. He missed 3 last week. He's got a big, strong leg, but he's got to find a way to come through in the clutch for this football team.
Travis Taylor becomes the slot wide receiver, bottom of your screen, 3rd and a short 4:33. It's Lamont Jordan, tackled by Simeon Rice. He's got the first down, a gain of 5. He's got 109 yards on the ground. He becomes the first Oakland running back to get 100 yards in an AFC West game since 2002.
Kevin, they got to pick up the pace a little bit now. They're inside a minute, and they got to get in and out of the huddle. Their tempo's not very good. Look at them walking the line of scrimmage. That's on Josh McCown. He's got to realize the situation in the game. Get up the line of scrimmage.
Now back to a 4-3-4 defense for Denver, 1st and 10. McCown over the head of the rookie tight end Miller, who is covered by Ferguson, the safety. There's a flag at the 32.
Holding number 65, offense. 10-yard penalty.
That is 2 penalties on one drive against the starting left tackle, a guy you played with, Barry Sims.
Well, Kevin, he's a good player, and it's just a question of he's got a tough job. He's late out of his stance because he can't hear, and then he's got to deal with Simeon Rice. And what he doesn't want to do is give up a sack in that situation. He's really at a disadvantage. He can't hear the snap count, and he's got one of the best rushers in football, a guy with 121 career sacks to contend with.
Webster, the linebacker, is out. Choate, the 5th defensive back, is in. 1st and 20. Lamont Jordan. Good block by the rookie tight end. Miller puts Lamont Jordan out to the 41. The tackle by Ferguson, gain of 13 yards on the play, and a timeout taken by the Raiders. They burn 25 yards to be in field goal range for Janikowski. Rice digging in.
Kevin, you're getting some one-on-ones out here. That's the matchup that I'd go after. Jerry Porter on Dre Bly. Give him a chance.
He sees it. He's going for Porter, and he overshoots him inside the 25. Working on Trey Bly. You called it. He saw it. He couldn't do it.
And Kevin, you got the look you want. You just got to find a way to give him a chance. Just give him a chance. You can't overthrow that ball. And you got the look, boy. And the thing about this, Kevin, is you don't usually get a second chance.
Porter beat Bly and Lynch on a 46-yard touchdown pass earlier in this second half. It is 3rd and 7 at the 41.
And now you got to be careful if you're Josh McCown. You got to be alert for pressure in this situation. They're going to run out of time. They're down inside 5 seconds on the play clock.
Calls a timeout.
Boy, you hate to waste one there.
So now down to 27 seconds, and a timeout remaining for the Raiders and a timeout remaining for Denver.
And that's just poor
catches this afternoon, one of which was a touchdown pass.
And Kevin,
Welcome to Denver. Those of you watching other games, 3rd and 7. They need the 48 and a tie ball game. One timeout remaining.
Here comes the pressure. Can't hold it. There's the one-on-one.
McCown, he's looking for Porter, working on Bly. It's intercepted by Trey Bly. Inside the 20. Clock at 17 seconds.
And Kevin, they went right back at that matchup. And what happens here is I need more from Jerry Porter if I'm Josh McCown. It's not a great throw. It's a little inside. He's got to keep it outside. But now go fight for the ball. Don't give up on it. Fight for the ball. And Dre Bly, he does a nice job recovering. Now watch him turn around, wheel around, and find the ball. Jerry, you got to find a way to get that ball out of his hands. You can't let, you got to become a defender in that situation.
So Bly gets his first interception as a Denver Bronco. Came in a trade with Detroit. And they're going to sit on it, and we're going to go to overtime, tied at 20. What a comeback nonetheless by the Oakland Raiders, down 17-3. much like they did last week at home against Detroit when they were down 17-0. They went up 21-20, eventually lost that game. Here, down 17-3, come back with safeties and a touchdown pass of 46 yards and an interception by a linebacker, returned 44 yards for a touchdown. And then Elam tied it on a 20-yard field goal moments ago for Denver. We're at 20 going to overtime.
Fourth quarter timing rules will be in effect. Each team is entitled to 2 timeouts. All replay will be initiated by the replay assistant upstairs. Oakland is visiting team. Helmet is heads, eagle is tails. Call is tails. It is heads. Denver's 1 to toss every seat.
Well, Kevin, this Raiders football team has taken the first step. They've battled their way back into this football game. Now, can they take the second step and find a way to finish on the road?
Raiders looking for their first regular season win in the last 11 games. And now we welcome most of the country here to Mile High in Denver with Rich Gannon and Kevin Harlan. We're tied at 20. We're going to overtime. Oakland was down 17-3. We're tied at 20. Back to Denver after this. We're at overtime at 20 apiece. Coin toss favored Denver. They'll receive it from Janikowski, who's kicked everything into or out of the end zone today. Dominique Hickson is deep back. Denver last week was involved in a very exciting game, come from behind in Buffalo last week. All right, here's Jay Cutler, 1st and 10 from the 20.
Sometimes, Kevin, you have a big emotional win like that on the road. You have a letdown at home. I don't sense that from this Broncos football team today.
Yes, they gain a lot of confidence with that. This is Travis Henry, wrapped up by Sam Williams on a gain of a yard to the 21.
Well, Kevin, we talked with Warren Sapp yesterday evening. He said this game is going to be decided along the fronts. The offensive line, the defensive line, those battles, and that's really where it's really been today. And I tell you, it's been impressive to see both these teams slug it out.
Quarterbacks thinking in regular time, quarterbacks thinking in overtime.
It shouldn't change too much for Jay Cutler. He just has to manage the situation, make good decisions. That last drive that went 90 yards was pretty impressive.
2nd and 10, make it 9. A long 9 yards. Here's Cutler outside, Javon Walker. And he is brought down by Tommy Kelly. It's a catch and run of 7. He's out to the 27-yard line.
And that was impressive there. And I'm seeing some growth in Jay Cutler. They called a special play. They called a shot play where they're going to take a shot down the field. It wasn't there, and he did the next best thing. He kicked it wide for some positive yardage.
Selvin Young is going to take the place at running back of Travis Henry. They also bring in Brandon Stokely, who caught a touchdown pass earlier, and Rob Ryan is going to counter with an extra defensive back, and that is Chris Carr. So 5 in the secondary for the Raiders. 3rd down and 2 from the 27.
Man-to-man coverage. There it is.
And looking for the undrafted rookie out of Texas, Young. Coverage by the linebacker, Howard, who had an interception return for a touchdown earlier on Cutler. It's 3 and out for the Denver Broncos. They got a punt.
And Kevin, one of the things you're seeing from these Oakland Raider linebackers is that they can all run. And they've got man-to-man coverage. That's what the Broncos have wanted, the matchup with the back on the linebacker. And yet Thomas Howard was able to hang with Selvin Young.
There's Sauerbrunn to punt. And the rookie out of Texas El Paso, Johnny Lee Higgins, is back inside the 25. No wind here inside the stadium today.
A short kick.
Line drive. And Higgins, a record setter in college, dancing at the 22. Brought down in the play by Jerome Cox. 51-yard punt, 6-yard return to JB in New York.
Kevin, the Detroit Lions are...
You got it, JB. Last week, Detroit beat Oakland 36-21.
And Kevin, it just seems like these teams battle for 60 minutes, and so many times it comes down to the kicker.
Lamont Jordan is over 100 yards on the day on the ground, 27-yard line, 1st and 10. And it is Jordan. A Griffith block, and that opens up the door. He gets by Lynch, and he's off to the races. Brought down from behind by Ian Gold. He's down to the 40, a 33-yard gallop and a first down for the Raiders.
And now you got him right where you want him. Nice job by Barry Sims out on the edge. Good job up front, and nice job making John Lynch miss in space. You see Ian Gold come back from behind and make that play, but now the Raiders have him right where they want him, Kevin, at the 40-yard line. All they got to do is be smart here, pick up another 7 or 8 yards, and then you're in field goal range for Sebastian Janikowski.
Lamont Jordan, 155 on the ground. That is a career high. He is left, and Fargas is in. First and 10 from the 40.
There's the shot. They're going to take it.
McCown got a good block from the rookie tight end, Miller. Throws it away downfield. He was looking for Jerry Porter, who was working on Trey Bly, who he beat on a 46-yard touchdown route earlier in the half.
And Kevin, we always talk about the scramble drill. When the quarterback starts moving to his right or to his left, it's imperative that the receivers work back to the quarterback. And in neither situation there did Jerry Porter or Ronald Curry take a good angle back. That would have given Josh McCown an outlet throw.
Travis Taylor has become a wide receiver atop your screen. 2 tight ends. Second down and 10. Fargas remains in the backfield. Justin Fargas, hit and brought down by D.J. Williams. It's a meager gain of 2. He's down to the 38-yard line. And we told most of our audience before 60 Minutes is on deck, except on the West Coast, that in pregame warm-up, Sebastian Janikowski nailed a 65-yard field goal with no wind at his back, but in the thin air here of Denver.
Kevin, what I know about Mike Shanahan, the Denver Broncos, when push comes to shove and the game is on the line, they almost always heat you up. And I would expect some pressure here on 3rd and 8. Let's see if it comes.
Lamont Jordan is back in.
Here it comes.
Is 3rd and 8. Jordan, he got a block from Sims and he is drilled by Lynch after a gain of 4, takes him to the 34.
Boy, that was a big hit at the end of that play, wasn't it?
Here comes Janikowski. They're going to try for the win. Janikowski in overtime in his career is 1 of 2. He was 0 of 3 kicking field goals last week at home against Detroit. This will be a 52-yard try. He has had 7 game-winning field goals in his career. The hold by Leclerc. The snap by Kondo. And for the win, the Raiders have won it. Their first regular season win in 11 regular season games. And Denver may have called a timeout before the kick went in.
How about that?
And that is the call.
Oh, they wait so late. What they do, this is a strategy move by these coaches. They wait so late and they grab an official on the sidelines and they wait till the very last second to make that call.
But for Janikowski, is that like a practice kick right there? Can he use that to his advantage?
I'll tell you what, it makes it even more difficult, in my opinion. You've already made one. You just watch. He's waiting. He's waiting. Now he signals for the timeout. And in that situation, Kevin, they will alert the officials ahead of time that that is their intention and that is what they're going to do.
They'll try it again from 52.
Now you need another great snap, another great hole, and another great kick. Low snap.
And it's got the distance, but it is wide. Can you believe it?
And Kevin, that was a low snap, and what happened there was Shane Leclerc had a little difficult time getting that one down. It's exactly what happened. Watch the snap. It's a little low and inside. Takes him a little bit while to get it down. And the kick just misses a little bit wide left. Oh, it hits the upright. Wow. Can't believe it.
He hit the top of the post 40 feet up from 52 yards. And what a timeout taken by Mike Shanahan, which was not recognized on the field except for the referee because both teams were playing as if the kick went in.
Kevin, you talk about this being a game of emotions and how they could swing back and forth. And now it's up to the Broncos to try to find a way to keep things intact, generate some energy offensively, and make some plays.
And playing with the short field. It's Travis Henry on 1st and 10. To the 43. Walked down by Warren Sapp after a gain of 1.
Kevin, I always said to myself in these situations, now is not the time to be conservative. Let Jay Cutler go out there and make some plays. You know, let him be aggressive. Let him take some shots. He's the guy that can win it for you with his strong arm.
2nd down and 9. Back of the ball, touching the 42, so that's officially where it is spotted. Lepsis with the block. That is Bell. He gets a block from Graham. From behind, he is tackled by the linebacker, Sam Williams. It is a gain of 8. He's to the 49-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. Well, don't miss the new show that has everybody talking about. See what the St. Louis Post-Dispatch says. Kid Nation is the most intriguing and potentially the most socially relevant new reality show of the season. It's Kid Nation, premiering Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on CBS. Ball is at the 50. It is 3rd and 2. Elam won the game last week with a field goal. Will he be called upon to do the same today in overtime? 2 tight ends, including Jackson. And this is Henry. Bulldozing his way free and tackled by Schweigert at the Oakland 38. A 13-yard pickup and a Denver first down.
Well, that's a great run and some great blocking up front. And you watch the fullback, you watch Mike Bell, you watch him clean up in there, and then you watch Travis Henry finish at the end of that run. Look at Mike Bell. He gets ahead on Thomas Howard. And then again, Travis Henry finishing runs at the end, running over free safety Stuart Schweigert.
2 tight ends. Pace personnel out there defensively for the Raiders. 1st and 10 from the 38. Henry again. Tackled by Morrison. Got a good block on the play from his left guard, Myers. It's a gain of 7, a gain to the 31-yard line.
Well, Kevin, I get the sense that this front 7 of the Raiders is starting to get worn down right now. And they're not holding up in the run game. And now you can see the energy level pick up in that Denver offensive huddle.
Henry today, 128 yards rushing. Denver as a team, 179.
And all the movements and shifts by the tight ends, Kevin. 2 tight end sets, 1 receiver. Their heavy set. It's a set they like to be in when they want to run the ball.
2nd and 3, it's Henry. And held on the defensive line by Tommy Kelly for no gain, 30-yard line. But you like this approach by Denver.
Yeah, you're in the plus side of the field now. Now you got to be smart with the ball. I would expect a run in this situation again. You're already in field goal range. Just be smart. Take care of the ball. I step into the huddle if I'm Jay Cutler and I tell everybody, hey, let's be smart. No penalties. And to have 2 hands on the football. You know the Raiders are going to be trying to strip the ball out. That's really their only chance here to try and get the ball on the ground.
2 tight ends remain. 3rd down and 3 from the 30 of Oakland for the Denver Broncos. This is Mike Bell. Hit by Morrison, brought down 27-yard line, and oh so close to a first down on a gain of a couple. Cutler today has thrown a touchdown pass. Has been picked off twice. Cecil Sapp had a touchdown run. The Raiders' Josh McCown, playing with a broken right finger, has thrown a touchdown pass. He's also thrown 3 interceptions.
Kevin, one of the things that's been interesting when I watch this offense today of the Broncos is I get the sense there's a lot of plays that look the same but are different. In other words, same personnel groupings, same formations, same movements, same shifts, but yet so many things come off the same action, and that makes things very difficult for a defense.
2nd consecutive week for the Denver Broncos. Rich, they've gained a lot of yards, but not all that many points to show for it.
And again, their production in the red zone, not where you would expect this Denver offense to be, and they've stalled in this part of the field and had to settle for field goals.
Sapp is back in as the fullback. The 2 tights, 7th play coming up, 28, 1st and 10. Henry. And hit by Richardson, the rookie, and driven back, in fact, a yard back to about the 29, 28-yard line, depending on his phone. Henry coming as a free agent from Tennessee. He was a Pro Bowler before that at Buffalo, the perfect running back for this offense.
And Kevin, the thing about him is he can handle the workload. He's a guy that can handle 25, 30 carries a game. He's productive, And the thing that I like about him is he's durable.
Second down and 11. Officially at the 28. He gets by Kelly. Here comes Cutler. And it's caught by Brandon Marshall. The block by Graham. The gain to the 4. The tackle made by Huff. A flag. Well, it's just been picked up. It was a 23-yard catch and run. First and goal, Denver. A flag was down across the way, then quickly retrieved by the official.
And again, to get Jay Cutler out on the edge, now you have some options. He can either run it in that situation, or he can find Brandon Marshall in the crossing route.
Well, they're going to try to ice it and put it in the wing column right here with Jason Elam. Can he kick his second game-winning field goal in as many weeks? A 24-yard try. Denver is one. And the Denver Broncos have their first 2-0 start since 2003. Mike Leach had the snap. Todd Sauerbrunn, the new holder this year, put it down. And like last week, Elam was good, and he and the Broncos go to 2-0. Oakland goes to 0-2. Jason Elam has just put through his 22nd game-winning field goal in his career. And Denver has beaten Oakland for the 5th consecutive time. Tonight on CBS 60 Minutes, featuring an interview with Alan Greenspan, then Big Brother, Cold Case, and Sharp. What a beginning to this season for the Denver Broncos, off to a 2-0 start. For Rich Gannon and our entire CBS Sports crew, Kevin Harlan saying goodnight from Mile High in Denver.